Hello, everybody. This is the podcast, episode 1, Disciplined. My name is Ezra, and I will be your host for this podcast. Right now, we're checking sound to make sure that you can hear me. So, I'm going to go on my YouTube page on my phone really quick to make sure that I'm actually live streaming. Let me log into a different account really quick. And then we'll start and talk about discipline. So, nope. Here we go. Thank you for being patient with me, everybody. All right, we are live. We are live right now. And we are live right now. There's a little lag, but that's completely fine. You can hear me very well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. There's a little lag, but that's completely fine. You can hear me very well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. There's a little lag, but that's completely fine. You can hear me very well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. There's a little lag, but that's completely fine. You can hear me very well. All right. So, discipline, what is it? To simply put, discipline is you putting the pedal to the metal, putting your foot on the floor, putting your feet in the dirt, putting the boots in the ground, and actually accomplishing the task you need to accomplish. So many times in our lives, we accomplish things because someone else puts their discipline onto us. Think about the job you work. The job you work was started by one woman or man who wanted to start a company and had to start by themselves. And by starting by themselves, they had to have a high level of discipline to follow through with all of the tasks. And they had such a high level of discipline, and they had so much passion that it bled over into other people. And they have so much discipline that their discipline is disciplining you. And since you don't have discipline, someone else's discipline and someone else's influence is going to influence you. If you're not standing on anything, then you're not going to get where you're going to go. You're just going to go where everyone else is telling you to go. If you don't have a vision, if you don't have a dream, that's just the way that it is. So, now let's look at your life. Let's look at my life. There are so many different areas in our lives where we need discipline. There are so many areas in our lives, such as relationships. Relationships require discipline when it comes to staying in a relationship and actually working on the problem. Because that's how discipline is. It is sticking with one thing for an extended period of time and working on that problem over and over and over and over and over again until the problem's solved. Until you get to the end point. But we don't do that. That's why we break up. Because we're not disciplined enough. We're not disciplined to actually get to know that person for who they are. We're not disciplined enough to get to know ourselves, to see our own shortcomings. It's sad. Some of you are artists out there. You're not disciplined enough in your art to make something amazing, or you're not disciplined enough in business or marketing because you need to realize it's a music business. It's a movie business. It's the acting business. You can be an actor, but if you don't know the business part, you won't be in business. You can be a model, but if you don't know the business part, you won't be in business. Okay? You can go to business school, but if you aren't disciplined and take action with what you learned, you're just going to be someone who has a lot of knowledge in their head, but they're not getting things done. It's hard to have discipline. There's a man named, I think his name's like Jocko Wilks. Anyway, he's like a retired Navy SEAL. And he says, in order for us to be successful in life, we only need 3 things. We need more than 3 things, but these are the 3 things that are most important to him. Him and his friends wrote 3 books about this. The first thing is ownership, extreme ownership. Owning your life and owning everything that happens in your life. Realize that right now you are where you are not because of your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother. If you are someone who's able to watch this podcast, you have some control over your life. And if you have some control over your life, you have to own the fact that you are where you are because of you. And even if, say, you're in a situation where you're not in control of your life, so you're like a child, so you're under the age of 18 and you're watching this and you're looking for some type of guidance, I would say own everything that you can control. If you're an adult, you have to own everything. If you're a child, own what you can control. Own cleaning your room. Own getting bad grades or own getting good grades. You have to own it. And once you realize and you actually accept the fault that belongs to you, then at that point, you will realize that you can do something about that. Accept the fact that you were given time. You were given something that everyone is given. And people do different things with their time, which is why people end up different places. Some people spend their time spending money and not saving money. Some people spend their time working and saving money. Some people spend their time with families and not working. So they have great relationships but no money, which makes relationships bad. Some people spend their time with money and making it, not spending it, but also not with their family. So then those relationships are bad. And then that's bad too. So another thing he talked about is having balance. You have to own what you can own in your life. You need to be disciplined and push through everything. Finish things. Finish the task at hand. And then you need to have balance because you have to have fun. You have to have a little bit of fun in this life that we live. So, is there a key? Is there like a magic word or a magic pill? There's not a magic pill. Okay? Jack and the Beanstalk had a cow named Milky White. And he got magic beans, but guess what? Do you have a cow named Milky White? I don't think so, so you don't get any magic beans. You know what you get? Nothing. You don't get anything. You have to put in the work. Discipline is work. If you're an adult, if you're a kid, realize that life is nothing but work. And the better you are at whatever work you're currently given, the more opportunities you are going to have to work on what you actually love. Okay? Once again, the more you work at doing well at the opportunities you are already given, the higher the chance you're going to have an opportunity to work on the things that you love. One more time. The better you are at working on the opportunities you are already given, the higher the chance you're going to have opportunities on working what you actually love. So, that's the thing. Are you going to do what you love? In order to do what you love, you have to be consistent in the things you have in front of you right now. Because everything's connected. Your behavior is connected. If you're someone who is lazy, then even if you got that record deal, you have to realize that you have to write 10 songs a day and have them into the label and go into the studio and record them at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. But you have to do that every single day. So it's going to seem like a job because life is work, people. Life is work. So you have to be disciplined. And it's hard because everybody around us just says things like, hey, forget that 9 to 5, focus on your dreams. And I'm 100% with focusing on your dreams. But right now I have a full-time job that I am slowly getting better at every single week. And as I slowly get better at this job, I also still force myself to make time for my actual goals and dreams. I want to be on TV, so I have this podcast. You know, like I want to be on stages performing music, so I record music weekly. So the question is, what is your work after your work? And what is the quality of your work? What is your work after your work, and what is the quality of your work? You know? Also think about this. If you're going to be disciplined, you're going to need a system. Let that sink in as I take a drink. Once again, if you're going to be disciplined, you're going to need a system. Think about every job you go into. How do they get success out of people? Well, they get success by what? Having a system for you to follow. So, to do better at your job, follow the system they gave you to a T. And then make little adjustments however fit your personality as long as you're performing at the rate that you're supposed to perform. And then take advice from them and realize that you need a system for yourself to be successful. And it has to be consistent. Just like when you go to work every day at 8 a.m. and you work till 6 or 5 or whatever, 7. And you have to complete a certain amount of tasks in a certain amount of time. Do the same thing for your goals and don't make excuses. Say no to the things that don't actually benefit you. Say no. They don't matter. If it doesn't benefit you. Stop saying yes just to impress. Don't say yes to impress. I'm going to say it again. Don't say yes to impress. And now, since you're at the point where you have started trying to build a system for yourself and your goals, then you're going to start to see gains. But they're not going to be these massive gains. They're going to be slow gains. If you really want what you want in life, think about, is this something that I really want, like long term? Because a lot of things that happen might happen later in life for you because you got started a little late. If you're young, wonderful. If you are young and you have support, great, but don't depend on the support. Support is good, but no one asked me to make music. No one asked me to start a podcast. No one said that if I did this, I would make tons of money. All people have ever told me is that I should work out and I'd be a good personal trainer. That's what they've said I'm good at. And I'm good at it. I'm good. I've been working out since I was 12. You know, but since I want to be an actor and I want to make music, then I force myself to make music. And notice I use the word force, not feel. I feel myself. No, forget feelings. Even with music, I have a system where I'm like, all right, count how many bars are in the song. Split it up into sections. Listen to this part over and over till I have that part down. Okay, can this part repeat any times? Is it catchy enough? Okay, now spend time writing the verse. Okay, what's the bridge going to be? Boom. So for me, it's usually chorus, repeat chorus, verse, and bridge. Boom. Every single song. Different melodies. Sometimes I just start writing to warm myself up. But by building a system, you can have a higher level of productivity. Systems don't mean there's no creativity. I know a lot of people, including myself in the past, I used to think because there's a system, there's not creativity. Because someone is disciplined and forces themselves to do things and doesn't just feel it out, there's not creativity. That's what we're taught in movies, right? In movies, we're taught that if you are disciplined in your actions, then you essentially, how do I put this? If you're disciplined in your actions, then you're not really an artist. But people don't know how much work people put in. It's like Big Sean was basically saying, like, after he got signed, he thought that was it. He was like, yo, I got signed, I'm in, but it's like nothing's happening. That's because the record label is a bank of resources for you to use in order to reach where you want to reach in life. You use those resources to the best of your ability in order to make it to the point you want to make it to in music. And hopefully they, cooperate and they help you. And if they don't, you just use different resources over and over and over. You always find a way. People who are disciplined always find a way. They always find a way to do it better. And okay, let's focus on this really quick. There are certain things that you need to be disciplined in, and those things are, I think everyone needs to go to the gym at least, or work out for 30 minutes at a time, 30 minutes to an hour with the heart rate up, getting a little sweat in, at least 4 times a week. I say at least 5 times a week. Take the weekend off. At least 5 times a week. If you do that, start with 2 days a week, then do that for a month, and then the next month do 3, the next month do 4, and then if you want to, go ahead and go up to 5. But if you actually are disciplined in working out every day, and then disciplined in sleep, if you're disciplined and you're actually getting 8+ hours of sleep, listen, your productivity is going to skyrocket, and you're going to be more mentally sound so you can make better decisions in your life. Because when you're tired, your frontal lobe can't make correct decisions. See, your frontal lobe, the part of your brain that is responsible for making decisions, is also part of inhibition, okay? It inhibits you, it keeps you, it gates you away from doing certain things that are based off of emotion. It makes you say, whoa, hell, if I do this, what are the consequences? And with the lack of sleep, what happens is this. That shield, that gate that you have that helps you make better decisions goes down or is thinner. So naturally you become more impulsive when you don't get sleep. That's why sleep is important. If you're dating someone who's a night owl, say, hey, I love you a lot. I can't. I have to sleep. You love me. I gotta go night. Okay. That's the way it is. And take a drink. This is a conversation, guys. This is not, we don't have to be super formal, everyone. So, let's just sit here for a while and think. I'm alive. I'm alive. You are alive. You are watching YouTube. You have a life. And you can do anything you want with that life. And people are going to say things about that, but just because they say stuff doesn't mean it has to control you. You can literally do anything you want. Everything has consequences, but you can do anything you want. And since that is the case, you are free. You see, life's like Netflix. There are tons of movies we can watch, but the movie that you pick is going to take you on a journey. So, in your life right now, what movie are you picking? What journey are you deciding on? Are you deciding on the journey where you are the fighter and the winner and the lover? Or are you choosing the journey where you're the loser? I don't think you are a loser, but I think we can all engage in losing behavior. Okay? Only want to make this 20 minutes. The last thing I'm going to say is an object in motion stays in motion. Be disciplined. Keep your feet in the ground. Keep your feet in the dirt, and regardless of what people say around you. Keep pushing forward. Have discipline, ownership of your life, and stay balanced. Remember to have fun. Pray about it. Take action. Make a plan, follow it, and readjust when necessary. That is all. This is the podcast, episode 1, Discipline. The name may change, but listen, the game stays the same. Peace out.